Welcome to this look at new mods on Farming Simulator 19 with me, MrSealyp. It's Wednesday, it's the 15th of September, another hump day rolls around. I hope you're having a good week so far. We have got some new mods and we have some updates. The updates are then, we've got the RN8012 pack by Happy Mole, the Massey Ferguson 265 by KZ Modding, the John Deere 7R Trike series by EY Modding. I know part of the update on that, if you remember when I did the review of that, when you turned on the lights, the flashing warning hazard light on the roof came on. I think that's now been linked to the beacons rather than the lights, so that should be okay. The Gavile TDD Double Bale Transport Spike by AW Modding, ABP Team and Black Sheep Modding. The Diesel mod by TF2020 Mods and the Sheep Paddock with Tunnel by Curato Farms have all had updates today. In front of me then we've got some signs. The glowing 3D FS19 logos by TrianglesTrouble. We have the English version, the German version, and just the 19 on its own. These at night will light up, if I remember, and I don't always. At the end of the video I'll skip forward to dark and we'll see those lit up, like I say, if I remember. 2.5 megabytes download. They are one slot, two slots and one slot. You'll find them under placeables and decoration. So the English version 850, the German version 850, and the number only 750. Very nice indeed. Next up we have got this. This is the Grain Storage and Machine Garage by ikas. 4.44 megabytes download, 8 slots on console. You'll find it under placeables and sheds. It is 50,000 to buy and it is massive. It's a huge building. Open up doors and go inside. We do have a light switch just here, which turns the lights on and off. But what I do like about this as well is where you've got the windows here and the skylights, is the sun shining through and the sort of, well, the detail on the floor. Even when you get to each one where you've got the kind of girders going across, the supports on the ground. It's very cool. It is, like I say, it is an absolute cavern. And really, for the price, slot count, download, it's not too bad. Personally, it's a little bit garish with the red and the scale. Well, I don't know. You want a massive door, don't you, for getting your harvesters and larger machines and vehicles in. Just drive through all the way down. Yeah, you're going to fit a load of stuff in there if you want to, aren't you? So there you go. That's the Grain Storage and Machine Garage by ikas. Moving on from there, we have another gargantuan piece of kit. This is Farming Simulator does heavy metal. This is absolutely huge. This is the Lizard Robust 800 and it is very robust. 5.03 megabytes download, 3 slots on console. This by Holzs FS and BRD Modding UY. Now this says it serves 2 functions. It is in the cultivators section, but it works like a subsoiler in essence, because it gives you a ploughed state, cultivated look. It does say there are very few moving parts, so very little to go wrong on it. I just honestly couldn't go over the size of it. It's 8 meters wide. It's just a slab of metal, isn't it? You'll find it, as I said, under tools and cultivators. 65 grand, requires 340 horsepower to pull. We can change the main colour to any one of those 4. Then you've got wheels on the back there. We've got ST1s, ST2s, which have got a little bit more tread on them. Those are your options. Now, it does have a swivel axle section at the front here, so reversing back can be a bit of a problem. But look, I mean, just the size of it is insane. Let's just lower it down. Then away we go. Honestly, I cannot get over the size of it. Massive beastie. turns very well because of that axle at the front. But as you can see, you've got the ploughed bit, which the bits behind the cultivating section, levelling section, is supposed to catch. Now you can also create fields with this if you wish. L1 and triangle, drop it down. And away we go. So, cloud state, cultivated look, 8 metres wide. You're going to need a bit of room for transporting this down the road as well. Blimey. Blimey. Anyway, Farm Dog loves it. Absolutely loves it. That's the Lizard Robust 800 by Holzs FS and Bird Modding UY. Next we've got, where are they? These. Now this is down as the Mercedes-Benz L1620 Brazil. Obviously, console. We get the Lizard version. Somebody's nicked the Merc badge off the front. Now there are 2 versions of this, and each one of those versions has a 4x2 and a 6x2. I will say now, all these backs that come with it come with this pack. There's only one in this pack which is a 4x2, which is a bit weird. The rest are all 6x2. So if you're going to get one, you're better off getting the 6x2 rather than the 4x2. Now this is 20.75 megabytes download. There are 13 slots each on console, and it's made by Cola. Now I know there've been a few different sort of South American, Brazilian lorry truck combos like this, so it might well be there are some other packs where the backs will fit onto this potentially. Nicely made mod. There are a ton of options on this as well, and different engine sounds, and it's pretty cool. The tank, the 4x2 one is a 10,000 litre, the 6x2 is a 15. We'll have a look at those. We've got under the bulk transport one, a bale loading one, and a bulk transport which is 23,000 litres, and there's a livestock transport one there that will do 9 cows, 12 sheep and 9 horses. But like I said, we'll have a look at all those. First, under vehicles, under trucks, so we've got the L1620 original sound and the L1620 open pipe. Personally, I prefer the open pipe. I think it sounds awesome, but that's entirely your choice. Same price, I'd say 13 slots each. Options on both are exactly the same, so we'll just look at one of them. Now, we can change the rim colour. Now we do have a silver metallic, there's a black chrome, a chrome, and then we've got sort of fairly regular palette. I think I went with silver metallic. Again, I like a metallic hub rim. And then we've got the main colour. Anything on that palette. There are some really nice ones on here with the green water. There's a really sort of bright baby blue. Green water looks like that. I think that's the one from the picture on the mods hub. Baby blue design colour. If I put that on something that'll stand out, let's go with that. Changes all that front section, but that does have some other options as well. If we then go down to our options here, we've got the 4x2 and the 6x2. And like I say, there's only at the moment with this particular pack, if you only installed this one, there's only one back for this. So personally, I would go with the 6x2, but that's just my opinion. Then we've got the option of iron rims 1, aluminium wheel 1, aluminium wheel 2, and then design standard, default 2. So that's why I said don't, the design colour, you can kind of mix and match. I went for yellow to make it stand out, but you can, whichever you want to go for. It's up to you. So default 2, default 3, 4, 5, 6 and 7, then back to standard. Then we've got rear height, no, plus, plus plus, triple plus, quadruple plus, back to standard. Exhaust, original. Now these were a little bit tricky to see. Where are we? Exhaust. So we've got original 4x2, original 6x2. Then we've got ones that come right out to the back here. We've got an exhaust 1, exhaust 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then back again, yeah. So there's a few to choose from on exhausts. Then we've got markers and sun shield. So if we go markers, yes, if you want markers. Sun shield, markers and sun shield. Let's come out a little bit. or off. Then you've got PX antenna left, right, or both, or none at all. Then engine setup, we've got 177 horsepower. We've got 211 horsepower. We've got the L1620 Classic, which is still 211, and then we've got the L1620 Electronic, which is 231. Then we've got plastic tank, or round tank on the far side. Pneumatic, yes or no? That's only on the 6x2. I think it's an option on the 4x2, but it doesn't do anything because there's no extra axle. So, and then air suspension, yes or no. That's at the front end. We'll get into that. Then decorative sash, yes or no. So like I say, that's pretty much the same on both as far as I can tell. Now, as far as everything else goes, under tools, we have got, where was it? Under animal transport, we've got the cattle 6x2, 19 grand. Now this was a bit odd. Design colour, if I put its own yellow, I couldn't tell anything that changed on that. Was it the rope on the back? Main colour changes the inner panels like that. And then we've got decorative sash, no or yes. Oh, okay, there we go. That's weird because when I did that before, that's the design colour. I couldn't get the. I was going to say the decorative sash isn't working because when I got the one I bought out, it wasn't there. So the decorative sash is your design colour. That clears that up. Then under, what was that? The animal transport 2 slots. Then comes down. Then under animals, we've got the 2 tanks. So the 4x2, 10,000 litre. The tanks are 1 slot each anyway. So we've got 10,000 litre or 15,000 litre. The 4x2 and the 6x2, 3,800, 6,800. Options, main colour. We've got a stainless steel on there, and then there's a whole range of, again, if you want to mix and match. Design colour. Let's go with blue. Does the arch is actually something that needs to stand out a bit more. Red, there we go. Does the wheel arch section underneath. Then we've got lights on the back. You've got white, orange, red or green as your option. Then the rear height, no, plus, and this is for the mudguard. So if you've gone, depending on what height you've gone for, you can adjust the mudguard on the back to match the height you've gone for the rear of the lorry. That's the tanks. And then under trailers is where you'll find the bulk carrier. 16 grand, slot count on that is 13, which as you can see then comes down to 1. Comes standard like that. Main colour change. The strip around the middle, which is the design colour. Let's go with red to make it stand out. There we go. Then you've got the option of bale loading wagon or capacity 2,300. If you go for the capacity, you can have covers. Now that's interesting. It says covers no, but there is a cover there. Black cover, red cover, orange cover, green cover, no. Then rear height again, does the mud guards or the mud flap on the back. So you can adjust that as well. Those are your options. 23,000 litres on the capacity for that. Now, the vehicle itself. So, this is what the 4x2 electronic, the sort of standard sound one, sounds like. L1 and X. No. Oh, it's because that's the 4x2. Sorry. Open cover does your front suspension. So if you've got the air suspension, it will do that on the front. Now, obviously, on the other one, the lift axis, because there's only one axle on the 4x2, it doesn't do anything. If we go in cab, though, if we go L1 and lift front loader tool, so right stick, we can adjust our left mirror. If we go R1 and right stick side to side, we can do a right mirror, so left and right mirror adjustment. And then if we go L1 and R1, open crane tool up and down, widens the window up and down. So we've got some mirrors and window action going on. Horn, nothing horrendous, no lacca cucaracha or anything like that, no loud squealy reverse on that either. lights. It's a nice looking bit of kit. This one, I went for the green lights. I said there was the 4 options on that. I went for the green. So, that's the 4x2 standard. Now listen to the difference with the open one. That's got a bit of throat to it, isn't it? I went for PX antennas and everything on this one. Now, so this one has got, because it's got the X-Rax on the back, lift axis. It will gradually lift that rear axle up, so it raises the whole lot. I think I went for the quadruple plus on this one as well, so it's raised anyway. And then we've got open cover, so we can drop the front down, raise the back up. If you want to put it in race mode. Let's do that and put that back down again. You want it in that position if you're going to hook up to the trailers. If it's too tilted, the back raise is so high I couldn't get the backs to hook up, so just bear that in mind. Same options you've got for mirrors, window, lights and horn. So bale loading, there are straps but they're underneath. Until you put something on there they won't strap over the top. So that's the bale loading option. One thing I did find, I drove out with the animal one and I hadn't quite stopped when I disconnected. The whole thing tipped right up in the air. So make sure you're a complete standstill before disconnecting. I mean, I don't know why you would, you know, it's a bit crazy. So this one, 23,000 litres. Make sure I'm on the back, otherwise I'm going to change the suspension. Open cover. Unload, I think it's only rear, as far as I don't think there's an option for left or right. Unload here. It doesn't tip. It's a kind of push unload. Where's the cover not closing? There we go. And then if we disconnect that. Ah, that's interesting. Please disconnect. I didn't do that before. That's something to be wary of then. Oh. It could be because the front axle's down? Is that, I don't remember pressing that, but I may well have done. Let's try that again. Yep, I think it's because the front axle was down. It's like, whoa. Well, it's something to be aware of, isn't it? No. At the end of the day, the livestock trailer just attaches and detaches. There's not a rear door, but you can see all the animals in there. But like I said, if you detach on the go, if you haven't quite stopped, it does that. So just bear that in mind for the sake of your animals. Not that you would do that, but this one sounds absolutely brilliant. It goes up to 80 miles an hour as well. The other thing to be aware of, if you're going too fast and you try and turn too fast, which is common sense, it does have a tendency to tip a little bit. You'll get a bit of speed up. It's not going to do it now, is it? Of course not. Anyway, nice mod. Like I say, love the engine sound on that. With all different options and a few backs. Just like I say, just limited a little bit on the 4x2. I hope I haven't missed. I did have a look through to see if I could find any more 4x2s with this pack. But anyway, that's the Mercedes-Benz L1620 by Kohler. Which brings me on to the last of the mods for today. And it's these. The Placeable Longwood pack by HR Forst and Fahrzeugbau. This is 1.21 megabytes download. Each pile of logs is only one slot. This does come with some rules though, which I will read out in just a moment. 25,000, and we have a whole set here. We've got birch, we've got maple, we've got pine, we've got dead pine, we've got spruce, and we've got Well, it says volume. Volume tree, Longwood? I've never heard of a volume tree, but that's what it says. Now, each of these can be bought for 25 grand and placed on the ground. This is not just a placeable log pack, just for decoration. This is placeable, cuttable, usable. So the question then has to be asked, depending on what map you're on, depends on the price for lumber, the price for wood chip. If you're paying 25 grand for a set of this, can you make 25 grand back or more? Again, it will depend on the map, but I like the fact it's not just a decorative set. You know, they're long old trees as well. You'll find them under placeables and decoration, which was a bit of a kind of an issue. I thought, I'm sure it said they were usable. So, like I say, 25 grand, one slot each anyway. They're all there. When you place a bundle, let's place, it doesn't matter which one, Longwood, wherever you want on the map, stick them wherever you want, as long as you own the land, you're fine. When you place them, you'll find there will be a bit of settling, I think. Let's just buy that. So you'll get a bit of movement, depending on the ground, especially if you're on a slope, just be wary of that. But, chainsaw? Cuttable, movable, usable. Actually, what I'm going to do, let's swing that around. I got one from the map. There you go. It's absolutely usable. The other thing I was going to check was with regard to, it's kind of price-wise. Again, it's difficult to say specifically, simply because each map you're on may be different. I know at the moment on Attingham Park, I'm getting paid over 1,000 for 1,000 litres of wood chips, which is a crazy price. 6 Ashes was very high as well. Some maps, I think this one, I've got the placeable sawmill that comes as part of the map here on No Man's Land, and it's only paying, it's a very low amount, 296. I think what's the one I'm on, Italia Demo is only paying 99 or something. So it will depend with regard to wood chips, but lumber prices, you can process these, load them onto a lorry, take them off. Now, you may argue, what's the point? But if you like doing forestry, if you're setting up a map, if you're doing a storyline, it can be very handy. Just, have a few of these placed about. It just adds a little something to it. You can do all sorts of, clever ideas with it. Or if what you don't want to do is spend hours cutting the trees down, but you want to have some lumber that you do want to have a bit of a play with some of the gear, it kind of makes sense. Now, one thing I'm going to try, it's difficult with the standard in-game ones. Some of the modded ones, tree harvesters, the actual head can be tilted, and if you tilt the head, you can pick trees up from the ground to process them. So as it stands, I don't know if I'm going to have to be very careful here, and hopefully if I can get it to tip forward, we might be able to pick it up. I don't know if it will. Come on, please work. There we go. Cut. So you can pick it up from the ground. Once you've done that, you can then process. Oh, now that's interesting. And a little bit worrying. Okay. Let's try that again. Oh, if it's stuck on there, let's move that out of the way. There you go, that worked better. It's weird, it may have just been it was caught up on something and didn't quite like it. So, you can process them. Like I say, we've done it with a chainsaw, we've just done it with the harvester. We can pick them up, we can move them. What I am curious about, and again I'm going to move one out of the way from one of the piles, is using the devourer, how much quantity of wood chips is there in one tree, how many are there available. I finally got one removed. Now what I will say, this is probably a good point to talk about the rules. It does say, note, must be processed directly after cutting. Cut wood is no longer available after game restart. Now, so as what I can get from that, what I gather from that is, if you place a pile and don't touch it, that's fine. You can save the game, you can come back, and it will still be there. I think. If you cut any, you need to process it, because as soon as you cut it, if you save the game and come back, anything you've cut won't be there. I think that's what it's saying. No, not that one. That's something to bear in mind. You need to kind of process it. It does say specifically, after cutting, cut wood is no longer available after game restart. So just bear that in mind. Let's drop that down. Let's see what we get. Now, is this not going to cut at all? That's interesting. I thought the devourer would have no problem with that. Doesn't seem to like it. Okay. Oh, there we go. So 10,667 litres for one tree. So on this map, paying what it does, that was 3,158 for one tree. So you should easily make back your 25 grand you've paid out. Again, it will depend. Some maps you might not. So I don't know. I'm just going to try and do an entire pile. Doesn't appear to be a big fan of the devourer, does it? Okay, I so far have got 106,000 litres, I think just over 106,000, because it took a log and it had already filled up. There are still 3 trees left of that pile, so if they're 10,000 each, that's going to be another 30,000, so 136,000 litres. If I go and take this to sell now, again, it's going to depend on the price, but we should do alright. The other thing I'm going to do is take a log and take it to just the normal lumber sale point. Well, that's unloading. $31,388. Yeah, that's a. See, I would say maybe lumber might be better. There are 3 trees left. 31,388, and it cost me 25 grand to place. Unless you're on a map where it's paying out crazy money for lumber, for wood chips. The wood chipping side of things, that's a little bit difficult. Now I'm just realised this actually, the strap isn't strapping onto any of these trees. I thought it was initially, but now I'm not so sure. All I've got to do is push one over there. Now usually anywhere between 8 to 10 metre lengths is the most productive, I would say. But we'll stick a whole one in and just see what happens. Just for curiosity's sake. Yeah, 2,300. So on this particular map, for one tree I got more money for wood chips than I did for a single log. But, like I say, it's something a bit different. Placeable, cuttable, usable lumber. You don't have to spend ages cutting or putting into neat piles. It's already done. It's already lovely neat piles. It might be as well, you might be doing a storyline where you want a particular type of wood and there's a few to choose from. That's entirely up to you. I'm just showing you what's here. So that's the Placeable Longwood pack by HR Forst and Fahrzeugbau. I hope you found this all useful and informative in some way, shape or form. If you have, please give us a like. If you don't subscribe yet, please do. If you want to leave a comment, feel free. And if you want to share this video, then please be my guest. Whatever you should choose to do. Thanks for watching.